Hey, I think I'm live. I hope the audio works because if it doesn't, then I'm in trouble. Let me see here. I don't want to click a bunch of stuff, but want. I guess I'll just look in chat on my phone because I'm in my office today and I can't exactly see anything but myself on the screen. I don't see the chat, but I do see Curtis is here. Hey, Curtis, and awesome, thank you. I'm glad the audio is doing good. Um, I really don't have a whole lot to talk about. Um, I just knew that I wanted to do a live stream this weekend because I had said on the KG Tropicals live stream that I was going to stream this weekend at some point. And I thought about it several times, but I would be in the middle of something and I was like, oh, it's just not the right time. But anyways, hey Joe, thanks for stopping by. I wanted to tell you, thank you very much for that super chat the other night. I feel like we kind of got involved, like we get so sidetracked sometimes that we don't always get to say thank you as much as we want to, and I just want you to know I really appreciate you doing that, so thank you. So hi Sherry Coleman, oh boy, and James Green, this is so cool. You guys, did you like get the notification or something, or were you waiting all weekend for me to stream? It's funny because Curtis messaged earlier and was like, are you streaming? And I said, it's going to depend because next weekend we have, well, my daughter's coming over next weekend. And so there was a few things I wanted to get done before she came because the upstairs bathroom is filled with a lot of plants still. And I was like, I really need to get that out of the bathroom. I had put the plants in there when John was redoing the kitchen, and I hadn't taken all the plants out of there. So anyways, it's fine now, not a big deal. But hi Uncle Smiley, thank you for coming. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Okay, well, thank you Uncle Smiley for stopping by. I understand if you can't stay. If there are people that are like in the fish community that are streaming, I completely understand if people aren't going to be here for whatever reason because they are coming here anyways because of the fish community. I don't expect anybody to choose the cat channel over the fish channels. It would be so cool though if I could get people that were here specifically for cats that didn't come over from KG Tropicals. Not that I don't love y'all. I hope you know that. I appreciate you all so much. It's just that I do sometimes feel bad, like I don't want to overstep, when it comes to other channels that are streaming. But you know what? This is a cat channel. So if you choose to be here because you love cats or want to support cats, then I'm all for it. And I do have a special guest. She's sitting right here on the desk next to me. It's Honey. She's probably not going to really show herself because she's a little shy. But she just likes to sit with me. She's doing a lot better though, so I'm really happy about that. But she doesn't like taking her medicine. It's gotten so hard to give her medicine. I'm getting like all scratched up, but it is what it is. If it helps her, then I don't care if I get scratches. Let's see. Lisa, the Buffalo Bills kick off in 2 seconds, and I'm on a cat live feed. What are they kicking off? Like, is it football again? Is it like preseason? Is that what it is? Preseason football? That's so cool. Who are they playing? Oh, hi, Katester. Thanks for stopping by. So, okay, Carla is hiding downstairs on the quilt. Oh, Carla's she's so sweet. She's full of energy. She always has been. She's the one that, from the very beginning, I was like, this kitten, woof. She reminds me of Tess. Just like she instigates. She was the instigator then as a kitten. I don't know how she is as an adult, but yeah, Carla was a trip. But oh, hi Susie. Oh my gosh, Susie, you are not going to believe it. I had a dream about you the other night, and it's so funny because I can't repeat it on the live stream, and it's not inappropriate or anything, but you would understand why I wouldn't repeat it. But I was like, I got a little mad at you. Not really though, but anyways, I knew it was just a dream. Let's see. Sherry asked, would a crushed allergy pill work? Wait, are you talking to me or somebody else? Like, do they have allergies? Are they allergic to cats? Yeah, okay, so it is preseason football. Oh, Sherry, I see what you mean. Your boy, do you mean your boy cat is on it? Wait. No, because a 10 milligram Zyrtec would be quite a bit for a cat. So, no, really? I didn't know that. You could give, I mean, of course, I'll double check with the vet before I would ever do anything like that, but, it is funny that cats, it's like Honey having asthma totally took me back to when my son, when he was younger, had asthma really bad. Like this kid, his asthma was so extreme that he was in the hospital a few times, and he even had a partially collapsed lung when he was 3. So I dealt with a lot when it came to asthma with him. And when he went to the allergy doctor, they put him on Zyrtec as a preventative because what was making him have asthma attacks was allergies. He was allergic to grass. He was allergic to Benadryl. He was allergic to, you name it, he was allergic to it. So the Zyrtec helped a lot. It prevented so many more asthma attacks, and I was so happy about that. And of course, something else they give you is steroids and, breathing treatments. But this vet seemed to, I don't know, I know he knew what he was talking about, that she had asthma. He, went over the x-rays with me and everything, and it seemed legit, because I'm pretty familiar with it at this point. And I worked in CT back when I was in the hospital, working at the hospital myself. But I know a cat's lungs, they're not exactly the same as a human, and their body's so small. So I know that you want to, or their lungs are much smaller, so you don't want to give them adult human strength stuff, I wouldn't think. But it's funny that the inhaler they gave me for her that goes through the chamber thing, I looked at it, it is human grade. It's for humans. And I was like, that's so odd that they would give that to a cat. And I only did it I did it on Monday at the doctor's. I did it when we came home every 6 hours for probably 4 times. And then I was like, getting her prednisolone in her every day, in my opinion, was the most important to help with the inflammation in her lungs, because that's what was really the big problem. And she's on it anyway. She's supposed to take it every single day. But I didn't realize she was spitting her pill out. She was being sneaky. I started finding her pill here and there, and I'm like, so she hasn't even been taking it every day for her allergies, because she has skin allergies. So I'm sure that contributed to some of it too. But I started crushing it, and putting it in some chicken broth and then putting it in the syringe. And because I wasn't sure if I was going to, that was too much at one time. I wasn't sure if it was time release or whatever, which I don't think it is. I just ended up giving it to her in like 3 different doses, the same size, same amount of pill, but I put it in the chicken broth, and I ended up giving it to her like with the syringe, but like 3 different times just to be on the safe side, like one hour, one the next hour, another one the next hour. And it's a pain, but I'm getting it in her and she's getting better. So it's like ever since I started doing that, she's improved a lot. So I'm really happy about that. So, but Katester said, one of my cats, Scooter, is watching in his cat hammock next to me. Oh, that's so cute. I do wish Honey would get on the screen and just like say hi, but she's not. Do you hear my beagle? She's like barking at probably John outside walking Reacher. Okay, sorry. Curtis says she is a diva and annoys the other cats. That sounds about right. Susie, I'll message you and tell you about that. I've had the weirdest dreams lately. You know what? Another dream I had a few days ago. A week ago, I got the hood of my car painted. It had been looking bad for about 1.5 years, and I had a nick on it, and it from like a rock hitting it when I was going on 95, and the paint started peeling off. Well, it got really bad, and I just kept saying, oh, it's just not the right time. I don't want to waste the money. I just don't want to do that right now. And then I called a guy, and he gave me a very reasonable quote. So I was like, well, it's going to be paid off. When it's paid off, I'll do it. Just because it made sense to me. I was like, well, instead of making the car payment, I'll make a payment to get the hood painted. So that's what I did. Then I had this dream the other night because I've been so happy and excited about the hood being nice and pretty again. I dreamed that the side of my car on the driver's side, where the driver's side door was peeling paint. And I was like, oh no. I was like so upset in my dream. Let's see. Okay, so Sherry, you are talking about your cat. So, okay. And your vet recommended it. Well, you know what? I will talk to my vet about that. Thank you for bringing that up. That's what I love about this community and when we all talk about our cats, because sometimes some of us just don't know, because I had never heard you could give Zyrtec to a cat. So, yeah, I'll ask. Joe said, my cousin has 4 cats, and unfortunately his daughter had to move back home with her 4 cats. You have competition here in Buffalo. So they have 8 cats, huh? That's fun. Let's see, how many do I have in my house right now? I have 5, 6, I have 8 in my house. I have 8 cats in my house right now, but they're not all together, and I'm sure theirs aren't either. If there were 4 currently and 4 coming in, I'm sure there's got to be some division there. I would assume. But let's see here. Hey, Jerry. Hi, Lisa. Just saw the stream. We're both watching. Sorry we're late. Didn't get a notification. Oh, well then, hi, Jerry and Ann. Nice to have you both here. I really like that. Well, you know what, Jerry? I had John, I don't know if he scheduled it. I don't think he scheduled it. I don't think we had time to schedule it. He just set it up for me, and he said, you just push go live. And I had like 5 minutes. So maybe there was a notification. Probably when it got made, that's it. But, oh, thank you, Curtis, for sharing that. My email. Hi, Janice Lumberg. Hi, Lisa in chat. Pill pockets always work for meds in my animals. Janice, none of that works for me now. it used to be where all right, so Roxy, my beagle, has to take medication for her Cushing's. So I would put her medicine, wrap it up in a little piece of bread, just a little piece of bread. And Honey got to where she had to have a little piece of bread thrown at her. At the same time, I gave Roxy her medicine. She was like, I'm a dog too. I need bread. So it got to be a thing where I would give Roxy her medicine in the bread. Honey wasn't on medicine yet, but I'd still give her a piece of bread, like a small little teeny piece. And then I'd give Roxy one more to make sure she got the pill down, and she'd get excited because she was getting another piece of bread in. So that was their thing. Well, then I ended up having to go with real chicken, like chicken out of a can. And I had to start putting the pill in the chicken. Well, then that's when Honey started taking her pill. It was around the same time because Honey got her pill in the bread too. It was hilarious. She would get her pill in the bread, and then it was like maybe for a week, and then we switched to the chicken. Well, she was doing that really well. But now she's just gotten to where she's not wanting to eat the same things. So giving her a pill with food or anything to eat, it's not working because she's not wanting to eat the same foods. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it this way. I wish I could do it the way you suggested though, because I don't know how I'm ever going to go anywhere if I have to keep doing this, because I know no one's going to want to feed her with a syringe. But also the vet is supposed to have been ordering me some liquid prednisolone for her anyways, because I requested it. So hopefully that comes in real soon. So Curtis, you're asking how many fosters? Well, I don't necessarily have fosters. They're just basically strays that I've taken in. I don't know. I guess you would. Do you call them fosters if they're not adopted out yet? Because it's not like I'm fostering them for people. I'm fostering them for me. So yeah, I have 5, 6, 7, 8 that need homes. And then there are many more outside that I hope I can start working with soon. Let's see. Curtis says, one of our dogs would be a pain with pill time, except for me. I would point and say, you're going to eat that? Oh. Okay. Yeah, animals are funny. They know. If it's something that they have to take, they want to fight you on it. But then I started wondering, because Roxy was starting to learn and spit her pill out too. And I was like, she just wants more of that chicken. She's doing it so I give it to her twice. And that's what I was thinking Honey was doing, but she just started figuring out it was medicine and she just didn't like it. Yes, I am caring for them to adopt out. Hi, Chuck's Fish. That's a cute name. So I did do like a poll the other day. Oh, I didn't know my chair did that. I did a poll the other day, and let me see if I can find it, because maybe, you know what? I might be able to do it on my computer. I'm just always scared to click on things. Okay, I'm still there. That's good. Wheel. Where is it? Bear with me. We'll go to post tabs. Whew. Well, we'll see if this works. Okay. Okay, so I did several polls. Well, and you know what? This is the one I want to talk about because it. I had somebody leave a comment uh, in one of my. I can't remember where they left the comment at, but they were like, "Why are you? Why do you have to pay for spay and neuter? It's free." And I was like, where are you from? Is it free in some places? Because it's not here. It's like, gee, my vet, it's like when I took Selena to get spayed, it was $250 to get Selena spayed. And I had to get her spayed because she had brought me 4 kittens, and it was just the beginning of it all. And then Robin was bringing me kittens, and I was like, oh my God, I got to get all these cats spayed and neutered. And it gets expensive. So yeah, Selena was $250 at my vet. So that's when I started looking into paying for it at other places. I found a place called Safe Haven in Raleigh, which was amazing. I loved that place. For the boys, I think it was $50 each, and they did get the ear tip because they're TNR. They got their vaccines, and they got other stuff too. It wasn't just that. It was a lot. But the problem was it was 2.5 hours away, and I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. So that was a lot. It was a lot for me because I'm not good at driving long distance to begin with, and especially in the dark. So I struggled with that, but I did it. And anyway, so that was there. And then I found another place that I'm really happy with, and I go through now, and that's PETA for spay and neuter. And they are actually in Virginia, like in the Virginia Beach area, but they have a mobile clinic so that they can help people in North Carolina, but they can't come in North Carolina legally, so they meet you at the border. And it's like a big store parking lot, and the store it's on Virginia and North Carolina land. It's really neat. So when you walk in, you're and the whole store is in 2 different states. So anyways, the back of the parking lot is where they park, and people come and they drop their animals off, and they only do so many because it's, like a great big RV. And so they'll do 2 per person, and that is what I have found to be the most affordable because it's about, an hour and 10 minutes away. You have to be there at 9, and that's all perfect for me. The cost was pretty much the same, maybe about $10 more. I think spays were like 75. Yeah, that makes sense, about 75, and then the neuters are like around 50. So yeah, that's still very reasonable. And I will continue to go to them for that. Now, what they do have in our county, though, is vouchers. It's called, I forget what it's called. But even if you use a voucher at the vet, they only take $75 off. The voucher is only for $75. So if you take 75 off of $250, you're still paying $175. It's a lot. So, yeah. There's nothing good around here when it comes to that. In Virginia, I had so much more help, and it was just a lot easier. But anyways, the question was, do you have a free spay neuter program in your area? I asked because someone left a comment asking me why I'm paying for spay and neuters when this is something that's free for stray and feral cats. This is not the case in my area. So it said 28% of people said yes. So I'm impressed. This is 61 votes, and 28% of people said yes, that there's free spay and neuter. So there are areas and then that do it. And then 52% said no, which sounds about right. And then 20% said I have no idea. But I just think that, gosh, I wish they had a better, they had something better everywhere, because I don't even care if it's for people's personal pet cats. We're trying to take care of this problem. It's like a pandemic of cats just breeding constantly, and then they're dying out on the streets, and predators are getting them. So I just wish there was something better that could be done. I know vets have to take, I know vets have to charge. They shouldn't have to do anything for free either. I just wish there was something more that could be done. I just really do. I don't know. Let me see here. Janice says, American cheese works for my dog. Feed a few pieces, then sneak the one with the pill and continue to give her the rest of cheese. Yeah, you know what? We've done that too with the dogs. But Reacher, she had to take a pill before. I think it was for like worm medicine or whatever, dewormer. And she's stubborn. She won't take anything. She's just like, I know what you're doing. Sherry said, if you disappear, we will blame John. No, it's not going to be his fault. I'm the one that is in here by myself pushing the buttons. Oh, wow, Curtis. Carla was nearly 1,000 due to a condition. So, isn't that when she had some kind of a bladder thing? Like, I remember you telling me about that, and I can't recall what it was. But that's, wow. Janice says a shelter in our area fixes them for free. That is awesome. Janice, do you mind saying what state you live in? You don't have to say exactly the county, but, and Katester said, wow, you're lucky, Janice. I wish. I know, right? Yeah, Sherry, that's so funny. You were just going to suggest the Petermobile. Yeah, I really like that. They're so nice too, and it's not hard to schedule. You do have to be realistic because you're definitely scheduling out. You're not going to get something immediately. So, like with Tess, I'm going to get her scheduled now because I know she needs to be spayed by the first week of October. So I think, I got to schedule now. And I'll probably schedule 2 spots. Since I'm already going there, I'm going to trap another cat. And when you don't know for sure if they're male or female, you automatically just put female, just to be on the safe side for their timing. But I figure by the 1st of October, the weather should be hopefully decent enough to where I have nowhere right now to put anybody to heal. That's why spaying and neutering at this point is kind of hard because Tess is in my bathroom, and that's where I would normally put somebody to heal from a spay or neuter. So right now she's got the bathroom, and she'll be using it for her, healing with her surgery, and then, So the beginning of October, at least the, the kerosene house, it should be good enough to where it's not too hot anymore. It should be more like regular fall weather, and I can shut the door and there's windows in it with screens, even though I won't trust a screen window with a cat, but I can at least crack it to where there's 2 windows, and I can crack it to where there's air coming in through both windows, and then put the carrier or trap in there with a litter box and food and water, and hopefully I catch a boy. So they won't have to be stuck in there for very long. It's just what I'm going to have to do for now. So yeah. Let's see. Janice said, but I had my dogs done by my vet. Yeah, you know what? You want to know how much my vet quoted to Spay Reacher? That's the stray dog that we found. $1,200 just to spay a dog. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I'm friends with the secretary there. And she told me, she was like, she's worked there for 20 years, and she started writing down phone numbers to other places that she knows does it cheaper. I said, thank you. But it's like, sometimes it's all about who you know. But, hey, Dennis, thanks for stopping by. Nice to see you. Curtis said, elongated uterus. Oh, wow. That's what Carla had. Poor thing. Well, at least it's gone now. It's a long gone uterus now, not elongated. Janice says she's in Massachusetts. Oh, so that's really nice that they do that up there. They do free spay and neuters. I wonder if it's just like in your specific county or if it's the whole state. Because that's great. So Sherry said maybe Tess will be adopted by then. Well, I kind of want to, I did adopt out Jack and Jill, Superman and Carla before they were spayed and neutered because they were still small, but I adopted them out to people I trusted and I knew were going to get them spayed and neutered. What I want to get away from is adopting them out before they're spayed and neutered. I'd like to get that done first. If the right person came along, somebody I knew and I trusted, and they were like, I'm going to adopt her and I will do her spay, that's one thing. But if it's somebody I don't know, I'm not comfortable with that because the last thing I want is for her to get loose and then she gets pregnant and she has kittens and then that defeats the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do. But let's see. And Curtis said, window fans work great as well. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yes, they do. They work amazing. Kaser said, I do Friends of Animals certificates that you take to certain participating vets, so they charge a discounted rate, but still a lot, and there are exclusions. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think that's kind of what they do here. You know, it's this place, it's called Aware. They're called Aware vouchers, and I can't recall where they come from, but somewhere in the county. But I did get one before, and I think that was for Gerald, because I got Gerald fixed at my vet too, but it was cheaper because he's a male, so it was just a neuter. But he turned around, and after I got him neutered, he tore something down there. I don't know if I guess it was stitches. So I had him in the bathroom and healing. And I guess he just started messing with it. It was within like an hour of getting home. And I went in there and there was blood everywhere. I was like, oh my God. So I'm calling the vet and I'm like, he did something. He tore his stitches out or whatever, and they like, well, bring him in. So I took him back. They kept him overnight, and I've come to find out he had some kind of blood clotting disorder too. And I was like, great. Of course he does, you know, because I don't get the easy stray cats. I get the ones that have problems. So he had to be on some kind of medication, and then, you know, they restitched him up, and then he had to wear a cone. I've never had to put a cone on an animal before, except my dog, Roxy, when she had her surgery. Normally, they just leave it alone. And, I mean, I have to take that back. I do start with a cone, but it's like only a couple hours, and then I feel sorry for them and take them off. You know, they don't really need it at that point. I mean, I'm sure they do, but they don't bother it. But Gerald did, so he was a little troublemaker. So Yeah, definitely. I would say keep a cone on a cat for as long as you need to. Um, oh, hi, Holly Gibbs. Let's see. Janice said $1,200. My vet is much, much cheaper. Yeah, that's just for a dog. I mean, in Virginia, I never paid that much for a dog getting spayed or neutered. Like, and we had a golden retriever that was really big, and her spay wasn't even that much. It was like around the 200 or 300, I think, and I thought that was a lot. But I would go to the it was called Kinslow, I believe. Yeah, Kinslow in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and they had the low cost spay and neuter for dogs and cats, and they were so cheap. So, hey Zen, cooking potatoes but saw you were alive. Yeah, just hanging out, talking about cats and stuff. We had this conversation, Zen, because I messaged you. I was like, because I was so shocked that somebody said what they said about why are you paying for spay and neuters when it's free? I was like, oh my gosh. Even you had made a point in saying it wasn't free in your area, and it was a whole lot of work to get it like that unless you were part of a TNR program and you had to jump through like loops and stuff. So Holly said the certificate we get from our FOA took ours down to $100 each. Now I can deal with $100 each. I can. It's still a lot, but I can deal with it if I had to. You know, way better than, especially if it's in your county and you're not traveling an hour away or 2 hours away, and you know that is reasonable to me. So, but I feel like if you're trying to do the county a favor by fixing the animals so that they're not being taken to the animal shelter and all that, you think they would be a little more helpful. You think they'd be like, just bring them to us and we'll fix them all. You trap them, you deal with them healing, we'll fix them. But I don't know. Janice said, it's a shelter in my town, so I assume there are more. Well, I think your shelter is amazing. Kaser said, wow, Holly, that's awesome. Mine did not go down that much, unfortunately, and I could only get 2 spay carts, but I could only get 2 cat spayed, but I have 3 kittens. Aw. Yeah, it is hard. I know, like with the laundry room cats, I had Selena spayed. I'm trying to remember how it happened. I had Selena spayed. I had Batman and Meow Meow neutered. And then it was like, all right, now I need to get Robin spayed. I need to get Willow spayed. And I still needed to get Meow Meow, not Meow Meow, Little and Lex neutered. And I was like, phew, that's 2 more visits and money again. So it's like I kind of had to wait until everything aligned. And I was like, I better get the girls spayed first. Get them spayed, then I'll get the boys neutered. Because I was like, if something happens and one of those boys got to one of them, I was like, I cannot deal with this again. So not when I could prevent it. So I got the girls spayed and then I did the boys, Lex and Little. And they were so funny. They were like, I don't know, the boys acted more like divas after their neuter than the girls acted after their spay. It was comical, actually. Holly said, I have a dog and 2 cats. And Janice said, the cone of shame. Yeah. And it is hard, though. It's hard to keep that cone on any animal because they're always trying to take it off, or you feel bad because they're walking like, ugh. It's hilarious. Oh, sure, I didn't realize they have soft cones as well. You know what? The vets only give me the hard ones. Like, they don't even give me the option. Zen said people are, let's say, misinformed often. They think if it works that way for them, it works that way for everybody, and that's just not the case depending on your area and stray population. That's so true. It really is. Like, there's so many cats around here. And I know what's going to end up happening. I'm going to get to a point where once the back of the barn is finished and I can start putting cats in there, I'm going to have to be really careful how I do things, because I get so many strays and they all need to be fixed. They just do. I know they do. And I'm going to probably have to do quite a few TNRs, and I'll just keep feeding them. I'll keep making sure there's shelter outside, unless they're friendly and I can like socialize them. You know, if it's a cat that can be socialized and brought in and they're in the clear, you know, for diseases and stuff like that, that's one thing. If not, I'm going to have to make them TNRs and just be happy that they're not reproducing and just keep up with them, you know, and everything to make sure that they are safe and everything like that. And I'm fine with that, you know, but it's going to be the young ones that I find, like Tess, the ones I know I can work with to socialize, or the kittens and stuff, you know, get them before they become unsociable. You know, that's my goal. Or, you know, like I was telling John recently, one of the things I want to do is be able to foster one out of the shelter, you know, pull them out here and there until they find a home, and then, you know, get another one in their place, but have a specific spot to where I can do that for the shelter. And I feel like the shelter will help me if I help them. Like, I feel like we'll be able to work together, you know, where they might be able to tell people about my cats too, you know. So we'll see. I have a plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. Let's see. Zen said, and yeah, we use the soft padded collars instead of cones that have a slip tie to tighten them, and they look like angry little flowers walking around the house. That's funny. You know what I did see somebody do? I saw that somebody, for kittens, and I thought it was kind of strange because it seemed like the kittens were way too young to have been spayed and neutered, but they used, I think it's those big cups. Like they put I don't know, I feel like that would have been really uncomfortable. But it was like a little teeny cone because they used the cups. Kater said, I have a male and 2 female kittens, and they only allowed 2 certificates, so I chose the 2 spays since they are more expensive, and then I'll pay for the neuter. That's smart. I would do that. I would pick getting a cat spayed before a cat neutered any day of the week, just because that one cat, that female cat, can pop out more kittens than, now I'm not saying a boy cat can't do bad things too, but if you had to choose and they're under your roof, the responsibility, I would definitely do the female first and the boy second. So Sherry said, one of my granddaughters has had a stuffed cat she named Meow Meow. I've spent the last 11 years restuffing that tattered kitty. Aw, that's so cute. She has a stuffed kitty called Meow Meow. That's adorable. Speaking of restuffing, my daughter, when she was born, had this cute little pink baby doll that was made out of material and stuffed with like cotton. It was a pink type of doll, stuffed animal. You know what I'm trying to say. My best friend got it for her when she was born, and she carried that thing around forever, and then she just kept it, you know, and didn't play with it, but just kept it over the years. So when her daughter was born, she gave it to her. So now Izzy carries around her doll, and I forget what she named it. I forget, but she's had to stuff it and sew it up so many times. So I just think that's adorable. Sherry Coleman said, soft cones on the devil's site. Well, I have to keep that in mind. No, just know, when it comes to Amazon, I don't have a problem with Amazon when it comes to cat and dog stuff at all. Anything like that. You know, our thing is with the fish side of it, because I'm not trying to get into all that, but just because we like to support fish stores and stuff, and it, you know, Amazon takes a lot away from fish stores. But anyways, I'm not going to get into all that. Zen said, I just sent you a pic of the last one we bought for our cats, and they're washable and reusable. You should totally try them just in case you need it again. Oh, heck yeah. Thank you. I'll look at it when I'm done, because if I don't, I might do something bad with my fingers. Holly, do you want Tess? I see you put Tess with hearts, so I think maybe you want Tess. I believe I told you I'd meet you halfway. Just saying. And I don't even know where you're from, so I could be putting my foot in my mouth. Holly said, when I took Leo, my male cat, to be neutered, one of his testes hit. Oh no. So did they do a full neuter? Or did you have to take him to get it done again? Like, uh-oh. Sherry said, absolutely agree. And Janice says, shh, don't tell John. It's okay. It's okay. We're not anti-Amazon for everything. It's just, you know, we have our opinion when it comes to the fish stuff. Doesn't mean everybody has to share our opinion. I guess we just like to inform, and then you all can make your own decision after that. So, no big deal. Holly said, I'm far away, Illinois. She reminds me of my diva. Aw, Illinois is not that far. Let me tell you, Whip and Kevin Ellery drove from the Chicago area all the way here just to get Superman. And I didn't even offer halfway for them. No, it's a long drive. I get it. I'm actually still surprised that they did that. They did that, and then Curtis Crump and Miranda Lee drove from way up north. I mean, I can't even remember. I get all those states up there mixed up. So he's probably like, you don't remember where I'm from? I mean, I know your address, Curtis, because you buy stuff from our website, but I always forget what state it is. I can't remember if is it Connecticut? No. No, it's not Delaware. Connecticut. It's way up there. Is it Massachusetts too? Gosh. New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire. That's it. I'm so sorry, Curtis. I feel like they're the same place, though, when you get way up above New York. It's like they're all the same. Yeah, but anyway. Let's see. Holly said, nope, said to bring it back sometime to see if they can fix it. Oh, whoa. Are you serious? So the poor thing has to get cut again? That just, I don't know if I'd believe it hid. I think they just didn't know what they were doing. So, I don't know. Let's see. Q said, heading to bed now, night all. Night, Susie. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to message you about that dream, and you'll get a kick out of it. It's nothing bad. It really isn't, but I will definitely message you about that. Zen said, and I would say if you have good local pet shops in general, you should always try to shop there first. But for cats and dogs, most people use big box stores, so it's nice to support the fishy folks. Exactly, Zen. I agree. You know, like, if we had a local store that was, like, all about cats, they only did cat stuff and everything, I would definitely be a supporter. Just because I would be like, yeah, they're all about cats and they support cats, so I'm going to support them. But you don't see a lot of that. Now, there are places like, I guess there's a county above us, it's called Elizabeth City, and they have what's called a cat cafe. It just opened like a month or so ago, and I'm like, I really want to go there to see what it's about because I know that you can adopt cats there. You can, they had a job opening for like a barista or whatever, so I think you go there and you can like support them by like buying coffee and all. So I want to do that. I'm not a huge coffee person like I used to be back in the day. Like I don't care about Starbucks or anything like that. I used to love coffee a lot, but it gave me indigestion, so I stay away from coffee, except maybe once in a while I'll have a cup. But if it's to support a cat, I'll go and have a cup here and there. Let's see. Sherry said, I'm in Southeast Virginia. Sherry, I know where you're at too, because I got your address. Janice said, neighbors, Curtis. Yeah, you guys don't live too far from each other. That's really cool. Let's see. Curtis said 3 of the first kittens are in the state. And Holly said, I'm not sure either. Curtis said, next time I hope to see your place. John wants to ride the Z28. Of course, Curtis. Yes, definitely. But you have to admit, when you drive that far to get a kitten just to go back, I think the closer to home is probably your safest bet, picking that cat up to go home. And I think at that point, it was a lot of fun for you to be able to go to Aquariums Unlimited. So, but yeah, definitely next time. So, let's see. Sherry said, we have a few cat cafes here. Oh, cool. I think they're so neat. I'd heard of a cat cafe, but I wasn't familiar with them really. But I've never actually gone to one, so I'm excited to go to one. I think that's neat that people turn something into like the love of cats, helping them to find homes and doing good things for them. They turn it into a business. Of course, it has to be somewhat of a business, but I would think somewhat of nonprofit. I don't know how they would work that out. Maybe it is all nonprofit and you're allowed to pay employees only. You know what I mean? I don't know how all that works. I've actually looked into all of that nonprofit stuff for North Carolina. I actually have all the paperwork. I've been filling it out. I'm just stuck on one thing, and I really feel like the only way I'm going to be able to get past it is to sit down with like a lawyer or something. And that's the part that is the hard part, because it's like then I gotta pay money, and it's like, but I really need to sit down with somebody to give me professional legal advice on how to write this one thing out, because you have to have things written a certain way. Like if something happened to me, like what happens with the whole nonprofit thing, and it makes sense because there could be a lot invested into it for the cats, and then if something happens to me, well, what happens to the cats and everything that was invested into it? So I completely understand it, and you need to be able to have a very well put together plan. So I just need a little help with that. Let's see. I took Holly, my daughter, for her birthday. They adopt them out too. Oh, Sherry, that is so cool. I love that. I love that so much. Holly said, you're so rare, your kindness. Thank you. Oh, me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Holly. Curtis said, I used to travel to Myrtle, or drive. Okay, I used to drive to Myrtle Beach all the time. Yeah, oh, really? Because, like, Myrtle Beach is probably 2.5 hours from us, something like that. So, okay, well, then you're used to it. I didn't know that. Curtis said, hey, honey. Oh, did you guys see her? I know she was over here, but I didn't know if you saw her, if she, like, got on screen or not. Let's see. Come up, I'll take you to one. Sherry, you know what? Maybe I will. Wherever you are, though, I don't go through the tunnel. I can't go through a tunnel. I've had an anxiety. No. I had a full-blown panic attack in that tunnel in Virginia Beach back in 2019, and the ambulance had to come get me. My kids had to call 911 because it was that bad. It was horrible, and it was in the middle of the night, coming back from one of my daughter's field hockey tournaments when she was doing travel field hockey, and we were at one really late in Virginia Beach, and then we had to go through that tunnel, and I can't do tunnels, and that was horrible. So yeah, if we meet to do a cat cafe, which I think would be fun, I'm really excited, we can't go through a tunnel. Just pre-warning you. Zen said we had a cat cafe that was also a bookstore, but it was in the hipster part of town and super expensive, so I never went there. Aw, but I would love that too, because I love books. I've got a bunch of books in my bookcase. Wait. No. Oh, other way. This way. Duh. Yeah, I got all these, like, it's fish books. A lot of fish books and snails. But anyways, there's a few cat books in there. Sherry said we can ask all the questions and learn. Yeah, and we can play with their cats and leave. Because it's like grandkids. You play with the grandkids and then they go home. It would be kind of the same thing, because then I wouldn't have to take care of those cats. I could come home to my cats. And then they can be really mad at me for smelling other cats on me. Curtis said, go to a college for a project. Oh, her face popped up. Okay. Curtis says, I hate tunnels and my wife hates bridges. I used to really hate bridges, but I've gotten so much better with them, and I'm glad. Because, like, I have to pep myself up when I go on trips, and I got to know the routes. It's a weird thing. It's so weird. Like, Tuesday I have a doctor's appointment in Virginia, and I already know, like, I'm already preparing for it. Like, it's not fun. I don't enjoy driving anymore. I have this fear that, I have a lot of fears. Like, what if an animal runs out in front of me? What if a cat runs out in front of me? My eyes are always looking on the side of the road. Like, I'm always looking ahead, but I'm always, like, looking to see if something's going to dodge out in front of me. Because it's like, I have a fear of hitting a cat. I have a fear of hitting a dog. Like, dogs, I see more dogs around, like, that come out, but they're so, it's usually bigger dogs, or they give me a heads up. You know, like, they're coming. A cat will just go zoop, right out of the side of the road, like right from a ditch. They don't pay attention sometimes, and that freaks me out. And other people driving freaks me out. And then when I get on 95, it's like all I hear is in my ear. Like, I just worry about the other drivers. So there are times, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I have put my hazard lights on when I get too panicky. It's so embarrassing, but I gotta get through it. I work my way through it. I always know exactly where I'm gonna stop to pee or whatever in case I need to take a break. And then it's like I get there and I'm fine. I feel good. I'm like, I'm here. And then the drive back is a piece of cake. It's just the drive there is the hardest for me. I don't know why. I have problems. Let's see. Sherry said only a bridge here to Cat Cafe. I wonder if is it that really long bridge? Because I have to take that really long bridge sometimes when I go to my daughter's. She lives in Gloucester, so I go up through Suffolk, and then through, I don't know, but I don't go to the right where Virginia Beach is. I go through Suffolk and then up over a bridge. Yeah, something like that. But anyways, I can do that. Keep second driving, give you a blindfold. It's okay. No, I can't even do that. Trust me. Like, we went last year when we went to the Fins and Fury thing up in New York. It took like an extra 2 hours, I think, to get there because I wouldn't let John drive through that bridge to, I guess, Delaware, through Virginia Beach to Delaware or something like that. I made him go all the way up Virginia and up through Maryland and do it that way. So he said, when we come back, we're going through that tunnel. And I was like, but I knew that when we came back, it would be like middle of the night. So I prepared myself to be asleep. And that's the only way I got through it, was putting my earbuds in and listening to, I think it was Fleetwood Mac, either Fleetwood Mac or Tom Petty. They're the only ones that really calm me down. And I put the earbuds in. I even wore my sunglasses so it was dark, because if I was asleep and then, like, you know how tunnels do that light thingy, I was like, if I see that, it'll wake me up and I'll know. So I put my sunglasses on, and it was so funny. I'm a mess. This man deals with me, y'all. But anyway, I got through it. Yeah, Curtis, I believe it is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Joe said, I try to hang out as long as I can. I've exceeded my campaign space. Good evening, y'all. Joe, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I hope your football team did really well tonight. So thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Dennis said, we have the I-4 500 down here. People think it's a racetrack. Dennis, which state do you live in again? You don't have to tell me county. I'm just trying to remember which state it was again. Is it Florida? It's Florida, right? Because, yeah, I think. You want to talk about a racetrack. Whenever, I've only been to California twice, and it's when I went to visit my oldest son when he was stationed at Camp Pendleton. This is back in like 2016, 17, or 18. And that interstate over there, I think it was Interstate 5. Oh my gosh. I didn't see one police officer. If you were going the speed limit, you were too slow. You were slow. You had to be going like 20 miles over the speed limit, and that's just to keep up. People would zoom past me. It was crazy. And there were no cops anywhere. I was like, California is crazy. But anyways. Let's see. Sherry said, no, that is the Coleman Bridge, not related. Oh, haha, I get it, because your name is Sherry Coleman. Haha. CB Bridge is on the way to Maryland and has a tunnel. Oh, yeah. I don't like CB Bridge. Dennis said, there's a trip for you and the wife, Curtis. Yeah, Curtis. The Baltimore tunnel is bad. The Boston one, you see lights as soon as you enter. Yeah, I've been in the Baltimore tunnel too. I don't like that one either. I don't like tunnels, period. And yes, it is Florida. I thought it was Florida, Dennis. I get confused sometimes, sorry. Holly said, I used to not mind driving, but legs do now, and I panic attacks from head-on diesel last year. Oh, when Taiwan broke, truly blessed. Wow. Holly, then you totally get what I mean, because, like, you have a reason. You've been through it. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. I mean, I stress about thinking it could happen, but it actually happened to you, so I am sorry. Say hi, honey. Look, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Come over here. Come here. Say hi. Look. Aw, you poor little thing. Oh, Stuffy. She's like, I'm shy. You can see my ear. Say hi. Do you want a treat? You want a treat? When I couldn't get her to eat anything, she decided she wanted to eat one of these. And I was like, well, okay. I will give you one. These are the ones I give the laundry room cats, but she decided she wanted it. I'll put it down for you. I think it's because they're soft and they're not. Oh, you don't want it now? You're making me be a liar? Okay. She doesn't want it. But I hear Reno meowing. Let's see. I-4 runs from Tampa through Orlando to Daytona Beach. Same if you're not doing 80 to 85, you're getting run over. Ugh. I mean, I've been to Daytona Beach and Orlando, but yeah, I could see that being a busy, super busy too, because those are popular places. I mean, tourism and just everybody wants to be in Florida and go to the beach and Daytona racetrack. They all think they're racetrack drivers. So Curtis said the Z28 would get to stretch its legs. Oh. Let's see. Curtis, I considered the auto train to Sanford, Florida, then drive to North Carolina. Yeah, I think that would be fun, but then I'd start worrying about, well, what if the train got derailed? And I am a worst case scenario person. I'm terrible. I really am. The first time I ever went on a plane was with John, and with John and his sister and her husband, and that was back in 2014. We flew from DC to Miami, and then we got a rental car and we went to the Keys, and that was a lot of fun. But that was my first flight, and I'm going to tell you a story. Y'all might think differently, but in order to get me on the plane at 6 o'clock in the morning, I didn't drink coffee that morning. I drank wine. I wanted to be relaxed. And it calmed me down, and I was just like, okay. And then I just kind of relaxed the whole time on the plane. And the funny thing is, now that I have flown to California and Chicago and Dallas, and, we've flown everywhere between now and, then and now. At this point, I'm used to flying, but to fly to Florida, it's super easy. And it's like, why was I so worked up over that? I mean, I don't like flying. I really don't. It just depends on how I feel, but I got way better with it over time. But I don't know. It's like if you do it enough, you're usually okay with it, but if you take a break, it's like you start having to get yourself prepared for it again. I don't know. I probably not like it as much now since we haven't flown for a couple years. Curtis said, my cats like the greeny catnip flavor. Yeah, I mean, most of the cats like all of the treats. I thought liked that one, but she doesn't want to eat it right now. I think it's because she's mad at me because I'm not giving her enough attention. Try smushing it with your finger. Yeah, maybe I will. Here, honey. Do you want me to smush it? You do everything Zen says. She gives me good ideas. Here. Here, honey. No, didn't work. Haven't heard of auto train in a long time. Holly Gibbs says that cat on the treat bag looks like Leo. Aw. Let's see. The auto train has one route, VA to Florida. Really? Oh, that's kind of neat. Vibes said, I'm here. Y'all can start now. Hey, Vibes. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Dennis said, you need a Valium. LOL. Yeah, right? I did take, something before. The doctor gave me something that was some anxiety pill. It wasn't Valium though. It was something else. I think it was like less, but it worked. I didn't eat a lot. Curtis said I used to do Dallas to Frankfurt, Germany for years. Military brat. Oh wow. I've never been to Germany. I've never been out of the U.S. Right now, my son, he's deployed, so he's not currently in the U.S. I can say where he was at recently, since they're no longer there, but he was recently in Spain. So he seemed, his pictures, he looked really happy, so that made me happy. Lisa, quick update. The kittens are hanging out under the deck in the backyard now that they are out and are starting to meow when we bring food out. I think we might still stand a chance with TNR. Oh, Zen, that's great news. That's like, so they know you and they're getting familiar with you and they're meowing. Oh, that's awesome. See, you're their people now. They know. And before you know it, they're just going to be like, pet me and come up to you, and that's exciting. I'm really happy about that. Holly said, we don't have any control over that, so I just decided. I can't remember what that would be from. Sorry, Holly. Sherry said, haha, I just flew to Texas after not flying for years. No, I love it. That's right, because you just had a new grandbaby. Congratulations, Sherry. How is the grandbaby doing? And how is your daughter doing? Because I know that there was like, you know, you were worried. But congratulations. Vibe says, let's get the thumbs popping, y'all. Thank you. Kateser said, wine before a flight sounds like a great idea. I should try that next time. You know, Katester, I think 6 o'clock in the morning was a bit too early to have it, though. I still can't believe I did that. I've never done anything like that before. It's the only time in my life I have had wine in the morning. But I was so worried. I was like, I gotta do it. It worked, but I still can't believe I did that. That was kind of silly. I mean, I've had wine on a plane before, but not that was the only time I did that before. That was funny. Curtis said, I have low-dose hydroxyne for attacks. Oh, okay. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with taking stuff if you need to for any of that stuff. I've had medication for anxiety before. I just, you know, I've run out and I just don't go back. But if you need it, you should definitely take it. So Holly said, our fears or what happens, so don't stress as much in my old age. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Our fears or what happens, so don't stress as much in my old age. Okay. No, I totally get it, because, like, I was a lot worse with flying. This is going to sound so mushy. I was a lot worse with flying and being uncomfortable flying, like, without John. But then it was like, when we got married, I was like, well, we're married now, and I'm happy. If something happens and the plane crashes, I'm with the person I want to be with. I know that sounds silly, but, And that's like, the kids are grown and everything, and it's like I've done the things, they've graduated, they're, doing their life now, and it's like, if something happens on the plane, I'm with who I want to be with when it goes down. Not that I wanted to, but that's what I was thinking. I started feeling like that, and I was like, I'm not as scared to be on a plane anymore. I know that sounds silly. Kate Stir said it's a mimosa minus the orange juice. You are good. Oh, haha. Curtis said the last early morning flight I was on served Jack and Coke at 8. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I guess, wow. I didn't think they served that stuff that early, but okay. Dennis says, was the only way I would fly, I had to loosen up a bit. Time of day was not a concern for me. I mean, I do get it, Dennis. Trust me, I told you. I drank wine before I got on the plane, so I totally do get it. That's hilarious. Well, let's see here. I have one more. Sherry said, thank you. She went home on oxygen and will be on it for another 2 months, day and night, the night only after. Mom is doing great and Dad is awesome. Military family and hope to be stationed here. Oh, wow. Poor thing. I didn't know. Wow, she had to go home on oxygen. That's terrible. But I'm glad that, they figured it out. I hope she, gets better and, heals quickly, gets those lungs nice and strong to where she doesn't need that anymore. That's very stressful for your daughter, I'm sure. So, well, you guys, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to have to cut this off now and get myself ready for bed here soon, because tomorrow is Monday, and Monday is the busiest day of the week for us. We had a sale. No, we didn't have a sale. What am I talking about? A lot of people bought plants now that we're doing the buy four, get the fifth free. So, and then I updated my snails and all that. And I'm not trying to make this a big sales thing here, but just explaining. We got a lot of packing of orders to do tomorrow. So I got to get up and get out there and get my day started earlier than normal. But, yeah. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and some of you all I'll see Friday, hopefully, anybody that lives on the East Coast that has, lives anywhere close to the edge of the East Coast, you all stay safe and stay out of the water, because that hurricane, I don't think it's going to really affect the land too much, but I don't think at this point, but I know that a lot of people, like the Hatteras Island area, they've already evacuated them. It's like they have to evacuate. They have no choice, because they're getting like 40, 50 feet waves out there. So anyways, you all be safe, and you take care of yourself, and hopefully if you are a member, or not member, but a subscriber of KG Tropicals, we will see you, or I'll see you, and John will see you on Friday. So you guys have a great week. And Sherry, definitely reach out. Actually, email me at LisaH@rootsandwhiskers.com, and we can talk about the cat cafe thing. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And Curtis, have a great first week of work. Bye, everybody.